Hey everyone, I want to talk about something that has been weighing on me for the last couple of months, why I am no longer going to be collecting for the Nintendo Switch and Switch 2. I've been an avid Switch collector for the last couple of years. I bought almost every first party game they released. I have limited editions, amiibos, accessories. I've been there for every single Nintendo Direct, but this year I grew more and more frustrated with each passing announcement. I was also super excited for the release of the Switch 2. I even bought the damn thing. Do I regret it? Immensely. When Nintendo unveiled the Switch 2, there was a noticeable absence of certain details. The price of the hardware and the $80 price tag for Mario Kart World were conspicuously left out of the presentation. This omission felt like a deliberate move to avoid potential backlash. Did they succeed? Hell no!
Something that struck me as suspicious was the way that they were completely avoiding sharing anything in the way of price points.
Kind of speechless, and not for a good reason this time. Mario Kart World is $80.
If hating Nintendo was a sport, I'd be the Michael Jordan of it.
Being left in the dark about such significant aspects made me question the company's approach to its fanbase. Mario Kart World was hyped as a groundbreaking title for the Switch 2, but upon release, it didn't live up to expectations. The game offered minimal new content and felt more like a cash grab than a genuine innovation. For $80, I expected more than just a rehash of previous ideas. This experience left me disillusioned, as it seemed like Nintendo was prioritizing profit over quality and fan satisfaction. Oh, and also, after the game released, Nintendo decided to remove the only thing that fans enjoyed about this game, and that's 3 lap courses instead of intermissions. Good job, Nintendo, you played yourself. Next up, let's talk about the introduction of the $10 upgrade fee for existing games, like for example Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. These upgrades didn't offer significant new content or features, making the fee feel unjustified. Now, to be fair, some games did receive a free upgrade for the Switch 2. For example, we have Mario Odyssey and Splatoon 3, and some games like Kirby and the Forgotten Land and Mario Party Jamboree did receive content updates, but those cost a whopping $20 instead of $10, and they were shit! Now for me, paying $10 just to have the game run better on the new hardware felt off. Contrast that with Sony's approach for the PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5 upgrades. Many of those games were actually free, and even when they decided to charge some fee, like for example Ghost of Tsushima with Iki's Island, that was an expansion, and Final Fantasy VII Remake, they had integrated as well. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about something positive. And that's the new features that this console comes with that made it worth for me. What? 180 display? No. 120Hz refresh rate? No. We're talking about the C button and the camera functionality, you dummy. Oh my god, of course, that's what I've been missing from the Switch all this time. Being able to stream my gameplay to my friends at 15 FPS at 480p quality? That's insane. What do you say, Discord? And you're saying that it's free to use on PS5 and Xbox, and I don't have to pay for the privilege to use these old technologies that Nintendo just discovered in the late 2025? No way, Nintendo wouldn't nickel and dime their fans. This brings me to what personally hurt the most, the introduction of game key cards. Instead of a traditional physical cartridge, these cards just contain a download key. The actual game isn't on the card, it's digital. For collector, this is a kick in the nether areas. Now every third-party publisher is moving toward these game key cards because Nintendo just doesn't offer any other option. You either get a game key card or you get a 64GB card. No in between. For me, this change undermines everything I loved about collecting. Holding a real cartridge, flipping through the art, seeing the collection grow on my shelf, none of that exists with these game key cards. And to be honest, I want to know that I can play my game after 10 to 20 years when the servers are shut down, because with game key cards you won't be able to download them, and if I go somewhere without internet connection, I was like, okay, I bought my cartridge but I forgot to download it actually, I can't play it. What am I going to do? It's just a piece of plastic. To be honest, I don't own that many third-party games on the Switch to begin with. Most of those I just purchased them on PS5 or on Steam, and my Switch was mostly first party to begin with, but I still own some of them. Now I want you to picture me this just for a second. We have Sea of Stars, an exceptional indie RPG game that came out a couple of years ago on the Switch 1, and Steam of course, and PlayStation 5. Imagine this came out today on the Switch 2. This was going to be a game keycard, not a full physical release. I wouldn't have purchased this. I wouldn't have the actual game. I wouldn't own it. Next up we have Celeste, one of my most favorite platformers of all time. The only way to purchase this as a physical release was on the Switch. Now we have it on PlayStation 5 of course, but back then it was only on the Switch. This comes out today. A game keycard, not a physical release. Why would anyone purchase this? It's insane. But now I have it. I can play it whenever I want, where I want, without ever connecting to the internet. And that's super cool. Lastly, another exceptional indie game that I completed on Steam, to be fair, but I wanted to have the physical edition. So I got it on the Switch. And now I have it. Again, comes out for the Switch too. Game keycard. I would never purchase this. And I would never own it. I would only have it digital. So yeah, just imagine, guys, all those games that you've purchased third party on the Switch, now every single one of them is a game keycard. How would you feel? I know I feel sickened. Let's switch our focus to the recent Nintendo Direct that they held, probably one of the worst ones in my opinion. Their decision to bundle Super Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2 for $70 felt like a blatant cash grab. These are older games with minimal enhancements, yet they were priced as if they were new releases. As a collector, this move felt disrespectful, as it seemed like Nintendo was capitalizing on nostalgia without offering real value. The Day 1 DLC announcement for Pokemon Legends EA was another disappointing move. Charging for additional content that could have been included in the base game felt like a tactic to extract more money from fans. As someone who values complete experiences, this practice diminished my enjoyment and trust in the company's commitment to its audience. We have something that has been compared to Silksong, and it's super justified. The release of the $20 DLC for Donkey Kong Bonanza was another letdown. The content was minimal and the price felt inflated. This should have been released with the base game to begin with. But instead, greedy Nintendo wanted to milk more money, and of course we had a lot of people complaining about this, but in the end they decided to buy it, and then they complained even more. Like, if you didn't like that, why did you buy it in the first place? Just don't buy it. Should I even mention the fact that they released a $100 plastic casing for the Virtual Boy that you can't even use if you don't purchase the Nintendo Online to begin with? Finally, I really didn't want to end on this note, but again, it's something that affected me and I don't want to collect for the system because of that. Just to premise this, I don't want anyone to go and spread hate. I love the guy, I'm just using him as an example, but there's other YouTubers that did the exact same thing, but I just don't watch them, and I love the guy and I love his content, so I really want to talk about this and end the video with this. Now, many fans, including prominent YouTubers like Beatemups, have voiced criticism of Nintendo's practices. However, these same individuals often continue to support the company by purchasing every new release and justify it by saying that it's their job because they're YouTubers. This inconsistency is confusing and makes it difficult to gauge the true sentiment of the community, and it raises questions about the effectiveness of collective criticism. To not single out the guy, let's talk about another YouTuber, Multihar, Some Ordinary Gamers. He was going on and on about how he won't be purchasing the Switch 2 in a couple of videos because he just doesn't like the way Nintendo's running their business. To then do a 180 and buy it anyways and have to do an actual apology video because he's spineless. In conclusion, the decision for me to stop collecting for the system was influenced by a lot of factors such as lack of transparency, disappointing game releases, inflated price tags, the shift away from traditional physical media, and spineless YouTubers. And to be honest, I'm not missing out. I've been enjoying collecting for the PlayStation 5 this couple of months since a lot of games came out in full physical releases. Can you believe that? For example, currently I'm playing Ninja Gaiden 4, a full physical release. Before that, Lost Soul Sight, full physical release. Shinobi, Ghost of Yotei, it has 84 gigabytes on the disc. Can you believe that? 84 gigabytes. The full game is on the disc. And Metal Gear Solid Delta that I still haven't played, but again, a full physical release. Just to name a few, I've bought so many games and I'm saving from Nintendo and I'm okay with that. I can spend more on an actual platform that values their fans and values physical collectors. Well, still, to end on a good note, I want to thank everyone that has been subscribing to this channel. It's good to know that there's still people out there that value actually owning their games and collecting physical media. Let me know how you feel about Nintendo as of late, and if you agree or disagree with my statements, do so in the comments below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.